Hello, and thank you for joining us for the Make a Plan, How to Teach the Plan WebEx. We hope that you'll enjoy this WebEx. My name is Sebastion.
My name is Jori
and we are both AmeriCorps NPRC members at the Greater St. Louis area chapter of the American Red Cross. This presentation is designed to help people who might be teaching Make a Plan or hosting Make a Plan at booths. It will be an overview of what the plan is and some tips about how to sell the plan, how to get people to fill out the plan, and answer some of the questions that you might be asked while you're at a booth or talking to somebody about the plan.
So what is the plan? The plan is an emergency communication plan in times of disaster. It can be found in its own section of the tornado, earthquake, hurricane, wildfire, and flood apps that the Red Cross offers online. And along with the electronic version, there's also a paper version that is more extensive.
The importance of the plan, as you can see, it will save your life. Having a plan in place, knowing what to do if there's a disaster, will save your life. It'll help you have an idea of what you're going to do, where you're going to go, etc. It's also important because if you're filling out this type of plan, working with your family, you can protect yourselves, but also kind of eliminate some of those things that you can't really take into account during or after a disaster, like the fear, the uncertainty, and stuff like that. So it's really important to have a plan in place. That way you are saving your life and that you know what to do and you're not letting other factors maybe distract you as much as they might if you weren't prepared.
And when you're teaching people how to fill out the plan, just tell them to be as detailed as possible. So this could mean including any information that is vital to their household members' needs. And an example of that is if a household member takes insulin or another refrigerated type of medication. And also something to emphasize when you're telling them to fill out the plan or when they're filling it out in front of you is to practice the plan and definitely keep it up to date.
So it's pretty easy to sell the plan to people, but some of the questions that you might see involve these examples. So how do I make the plan? One suggestion, as you see written on the screen, is to maybe schedule a meeting for the household, and similar to a family game night, maybe the family plan night instead. And you sit down and you work with every member of the household to come up with a plan and make sure that you go through it step by step and that you've thought of everything. We have different versions, as we mentioned earlier, of the plan, but maybe there's something you can think of that isn't, asked in either version of the plan. So just be as extensive and as thorough as you can.
And another question, a frequently asked question might be, why should I practice the plan? And I kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, is that you need to tell them to practice the plan just because you can get all the kinks out if you practice the plan. And just to make sure that they think everything through. So if they're going through the plan, if they practice it once, they might see something that might not work or that could be better adjusted so that it goes more smoothly. And by executing the plan, you can do it as efficiently as possible when the disaster does occur.
Another question you might hear is how often should I practice the plan? We mentioned that they should practice. Well, how often? You want to practice this at least twice a year, preferably during different times of the day. So maybe you're doing one during the day, maybe you'll do one at night, especially if you're practicing like how to escape the home in case of a fire. You might want to designate somebody to set up the smoke detector at night to practice it to see if people wake up to it. Maybe they don't, and that's a good thing to know. So if they aren't waking up to the smoke detector, there's something that you need to factor into your plan. What can we do to make people wake up if there's a fire? It's also helpful to practice during different weather conditions. So maybe your meeting place outside is near, a metallic fence, or it's a little elevated, or you're right under a tree or something. And if there's a thunderstorm, is that really where you want to be? Maybe there's a safer location. Maybe there's a location where you're not going to get as wet with the rain that you can, there's a roof or something that you can kind of hide under. So just knowing, like, is the plan going to change at all based on weather conditions? And practicing it during different weather conditions so that you can see what issues you might run into.
Okay. So is the Make a Plan feature of the apps the same thing as the paper copy? And this answer is actually no. So there is a difference between them, and the difference is the paper copy is more extensive, and it should be something that every family fills out. So the Make a Plan section in the apps should be used as a supplement to the paper copy. And the paper copy can easily be shared with all members of the household, whereas the electronic version would just be confined to the device that it is on.
Where should I keep my plan? There's really not a bad answer to this question, but some of the more common places that you might find your plan, if you do it on the app, it's going to be right there on your app, on your phone or on your tablet, whatever the case may be. But you might want to post a copy of the paper app, on your refrigerator. You might want to keep a copy in the car. We recommend that you keep one, on yourself at all time, every person, so as you can see their purse, wallet, backpack, whatever, or in your emergency supply kit. Now, we mentioned that the emergency supply kit is something you grab if you're evacuating your home, in any case except a fire, which is why we recommend having it in the car or in the wallet, etc. If there's a fire, you don't want to grab anything on your way out. You want to get out and stay out. So you wouldn't want to grab your plan on the way out. So hopefully you have a version of it maybe in your wallet, maybe on your phone, maybe in your car that you can go access. But you don't want to be sitting in the home looking for your plan if there's a fire. You want to have your plan somewhere outside of the home as well. That way you can access it even if you're having to evacuate.
And the last question that we have is, how do I download the app? And before speaking with people about how to make a plan, you should be familiar with how to download our free app. And if you aren't already familiar with it, you can view our WebEx on Make a Plan, and it's on the website link that we have listed above. And this presentation covers the download process of how to download our Red Cross app.
We do recommend also that you download all of the apps if you have a smartphone or some kind of tablet that supports either the App Store or the Google Play Store. That way you can become familiar with the apps in general, not just the Make a Plan feature. But also we recommend that you go in and make your own plan, whether through the app or whether through the paper copy on the website. But make your own plan, practice your own plan before talking to people about it. That way you have an idea and can give them examples from your own if that seems to help. So if you're familiar with it, or the more familiar you are with it, the easier it will be for you to convince people to get prepared. Because like Ben Franklin says, by failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. Thank you for your time. We hope you enjoyed this presentation.